Hello everyone, my name is Tuhin. Today we'll learn about LangGraph and we will know how to get started with the LangGraph. For this, we'll know what is LangGraph, what are the key benefits using LangGraph, and finally we'll see a demo where we'll build a basic graph using LangGraph. So let's get started. So what is LangGraph? LangGraph is open source, graph-based orchestration framework developed by creators of LangChain. So LangChain is already a very well-known framework for building LLM applications. And LangGraph helps building stateful, long-running AI agent workflows. It is designed for agentic AI systems, offering developers deep control over execution, stage management, and agent coordination. So what are the key features of LangGraph? So LangGraph is entirely based on graph-based structure. It is not directed acyclic graph, but it also enables users creating a loop or conditional edges. So persistent stage and memory. Maintain execution context across session. So state is nothing but a checkpoint after each node, allowing workflows to resume or rewind mid executions for debugging or human intervention. So LangGraph supports human in the loop. User can pause execution for manual approvals or interventions, making workflows safe and improvable over time. LangGraph supports fine-grained control. Designed as a low-level tool, LangGraph lets you customize every aspect of the agent behavior, flow logic, node, state control, and tool integrations with complete transparency. Ecosystem integration. So it works seamlessly with LangChain as LangGraph is built over LangChain, and for observability or evaluation purpose, LangSmith we can use, and optionally LangGraph Studio or LangGraph platform for visualizing the deployment or authoring. Let's see who should be using LangGraph. LangGraph is built for enterprise use. So it is trusted by enterprises for building production grade and multi-agent collaborative workflows. So a lot of developers who have used LangGraph, they told it's ready for productions. It's a great toolkit with observability, which is very well needed for production grade applications. And LangGraph's based approach lets them find a sweet spot between the structured flows and complete flexibility. It means it keeps a balance between non-determinism versus determinism. As you know, agentic workflows most of the cases are non-deterministic, but LangGraph gives a fine control over the non-deterministic answers. So it has built-in state management, which is definitely a major plus. Great for complex agentic scenarios, perfect if you need multi-agent coordination, clear debugging, loops, and persistent memory for multi-step intelligent processes. So key considerations before using LangGraph. So LangGraph is a steep learning curve because it's a low level and it's very flexible. So LangGraph can feel complex at the beginning, but when you learn the basic concepts about LangGraph, you will be able to implement very complex scenarios using the LangGraph. So documentation gaps, some users report inconsistent documentations and rough edges in design patterns and community tooling. So it is mostly fit for advanced use cases. It may be an overkill for simple chatbot or linear agent flows, where lightweight frameworks like CrewAI or Swarm may be more straightforward. So few important concepts before going into the implementation. Three things we need to know. One is state, node, and edges. So what is a state? In LangGraph, state is a core concept that allows you to build long-running multi-state AI workflows that can remember context, handle branching, and pause or resume execution. So it is nothing but a data structure that can save application memory and can be accessed by nodes at any point of time. So what is a node? So node, one is the key component of the graph. You can think of nodes like a functions in a flowchart. They are the building blocks of the AI workflow. So nodes can perform a tool calling, execute some business logic, or it can call an LLM, and finally it returns an updated state. We'll come to all of these things a later point of time when we implement. Now, what is edge? In LangGraph, edges define how data flows from one edge to another. They form connections in the graph structure, determining the order, logic, and routing of the workflow, including conditional, loops, and branching. So in this demo, we will use poetry for environment creations, and we will create this kind of structures that is available here, and we'll be creating a simple node, and we'll see how to implement state, how to connect node with the edges. So by default, start and end nodes will be created. So we'll connect the greeter node with the start and end node, and how to finally generate a graph. Okay, so let's see it in demo. So first, in order to create the particular project, we'll use poetry in it. So we'll keep the project name same, we'll keep the version same, we'll keep the description as LangGraph demo, and author, let me keep it my signature. License will keep it empty. Compatible Python versions I'll keep 3.12.4. I'll keep it yes. I'll keep it next. And finally, the graph has been created. Now, if you see, I'll just refresh. If you see, there is the PyProject.toml has been created. Now, the PyProject.toml does not have any dependency, so we'll install our dependency. Poetry add. So it has installed LangGraph. Now for the primary demo, only LangGraph dependency is required, so we'll get started. So now if you see, the LangGraph has been installed, and the poetry log file has been created, and also you can see the virtual environment has been created. So I'll quickly create a directory called source, and inside source we'll create few more files called schema.py, and inside that schema.py we'll create the state, a class for the state. So I have created a class called agent state. Please remember, the agent state is a type dictionary. Type dictionary is a dictionary which has the type defined. So we need to define the type for the values, that is the here it is string type for the message. Okay, let's create another Python file called nodes, and inside that we'll create the node called greeting node. So here we will define the state, and state, as we already discussed, a state takes a state of an agent, that is agent state, and returns the updated state. So here it is, the current state is the input type of the greeting node is the agent state, and it will manipulate the current state and return the updated state. So we can keep a simple description for that particular function. This habit will be useful when we implement the AI based agent. Okay, so I will create a simple node that adds greeting messages to the state. Okay, next we'll create a state like hey, and it will give the message, and just build your first graph, and then it will finally return a state. Okay, so we have built a node that is called greeting node. Now next job will be creating a graph for that particular with that particular node. So let's create another Python file called graph dot graph. And so what we'll do, we need to create a graph equals, so LangGraph has been installed, and now we'll add the node. Here we'll add a node called greeter and add the node called greeting node. Next we'll add the entry point for that particular graph dot set entry point. Here I will add it the same node as greeter, and again graph dot set finish point as again greeter. Now finally we created that particular graph. We will create an agent, and we will just compile that graph dot compile. Okay, now we'll create another file called main, and inside main we will add the result equals agent dot invoke, and as you know, it's we will take that particular state, that is message. We'll pass a message, that is message, and equals, I will set my name as Tuhin, and then I'll simply print result and message. So we will, in order to print that particular graph, we will we need to use some additional code, that is for dot get graph, and inside that get graph draw markment png, and then we will specify the output file path, and we'll finally we'll just specify the file name, and we'll write that particular file name in the specified path, and finally we'll print a message called saved graph image to that particular location. Okay, so now, so you can see, so hey Tuhin, you just build your first graph and saved graph image to the graph.png. Now you can see the file has been generated, and we have finally built a graph with a start node, with a greeter node which does some action, and with an end node. Okay, I've seen it that how to create a simple node, and how to implement state, how to add edges to the nodes, and finally generating the graph. And we have also printed the graph, and to visualize how the nodes are connected, what is the entry point, what is the exit point of that particular graph. So in the next videos, we'll learn how to implement agent with multiple nodes, implementing agents with the conditional edges, implement edges with a feedback loop, and then we'll come to the final part, that where we'll be creating the React agent, which is the essence of LangGraph, which works based on reasoning and acting. Then finally we'll build an React agent which works with the LLM. If you like my video, please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Thank you.